Every single day, Republicans are in my comments screaming about how liberals are so dramatic and theatrical. And so I thought it would be a good time to talk about everything Republicans have set on fire when they didn't get their way. Who could forget that time after a global pandemic when the company Carhartt turned to medical science and professionals and required their employees to have a medical procedure done that would keep everyone safe? And then Republicans threw an absolute tantrum and took the Carhartt items that they already owned and had already purchased from the company and very publicly set them ablaze. What's interesting to me is that Democrats get the rap for being so wordy, but look, there's a whole essay up there. We see the hat on fire, sir. You didn't need to give us a full monologue on it. Also, because I had the misfortune of reading your monologue, sir, let me just say, if we know anything from history, it's that the wealthy people could isolate themselves in their ivory towers, and it was the middle class, it was the workers that were out getting the infectious diseases. So those procedures are for us, man. Okay? You know his audition tape is floating around on the internet somewhere still. No, Republicans didn't set Colin Kaepernick on fire, to my knowledge. Colin, who was an NFL football player, but more notable for his social activism when he took a kneel during the national anthem to protest the brutality against Black Americans. And because the gesture of a Black man kneeling quietly during the national anthem was so offensive to Republicans, when Nike signed Colin to an ad, all the conservatives set their Nike things on fire. The merchandise they'd already paid to the company, they set on fire. What a stunning display of calmness and composure. Not at all dramatic and theatrical. Totally within proportion to the situation at hand. Okay. Republicans came to Sean Hannity's defense after Keurig pulled their advertising from his show after Hannity seemingly defended the then Senate candidate Roy Moore. Moore, who had been the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court for Alabama, was embroiled in a scandal involving sexual allegations with minors. And because Hannity is both a man and Republican, when he heard about the allegations, he was like, we can talk about. And Keurig was having none of it. So they pulled their advertising, and that sent Republicans into a frenzy. Once again, taking their perfectly good coffee makers that they'd already purchased from the manufacturer and setting them on fire. And then videoing it so that we would all know that they set their coffee makers on fire. What a serene and tranquil moment that was. Not at all theatrical. But maybe the best thing to come out of this ordeal, aside from the fact that Republicans had to go without their coffee for quite a bit of time, is the fact that they inadvertently joined an environmental movement which sought to get people to put down their Keurigs because of the waste that it provides with the little, the little K-cups that they have. It's not good for the environment. So environmental activists were like, yay, Republicans, high five, teamwork. And if you thought public library books were safe, I don't think you ever thought that when it comes to Republicans. But anyway, this candidate, Valentina Gomez, was running for Secretary of State in Arizona. And she checked out a bunch of public library books that had to do with LGBTQ. And then she lit them on fire. So she lit children's books on fire and then posted it to Twitter. I'm going to have to cover what she wrote, but you can find it on the internet. It still lives there. And as for Valentina, she finished dead last in the primary. With, I think, 7% of the vote, which to me seems a little high, Arizona. But still, I think we can all agree that taking a flamethrower to public library books, it's so demure, so even-tempered. I would like to point out that I had enough material to do a 4-minute long video on Republicans lighting things on fire. And don't worry, this is a part of a larger series. Today I thought we'd just focus on the things they set on fire. So if I missed your favorite, maybe I just didn't know they set it on fire. Meet me in the comments.